What up, bottom enders? It's JJ Vell with Basis 718, and I'm back with the Zoom B6 tutorial. On this, we're just going to cover some of the functionalities. I'm sorry about the video quality, but I'm in process of moving out of this state, and I have everything packed up, so I'm using my cell phone. Again, I'm just only covering the functionalities. I'm not doing a lot of playing on it because the video is already long as it is, about 35 minutes long. I didn't want to go longer. So just covering some of the basics and answering some of the questions that I had when I was looking to purchase the unit and I couldn't find anything on it. So if you have any questions, please hit me up in the comments. Guys, please download the manual. It's integral to do so. It'll become a lot more intuitive once you do so. Again, I'm only covering some of the things that I needed, but if there's anything that you have, I hope this does cover them, but if not, hit me up. JJ Vell, Basis 718, Zoom B6. Alright, bottom enders, so here we are. So this is the preset screen. The Zoom B6 has 4 different play modes. You have the looper, memory, you have the effect board, bank and patches. If I move over here, I'll show you right quickly. This is the actual button in which you can go ahead and click those and you can move from play mode to play mode. Right now, we're focusing just on the bank and patches. The bank and patches are where you store all your effects and your amplifier settings, everything. Pretty much all the settings that you set your effects to, they're going to be saved. You can save them all there and just quick recall them. So let's say, so this is, again, presets that already come with the unit. You can set your own, but let's take it from here. As you can hear, it is some type of a flange, right? But if you look to the right of the unit here in the B6, okay, you have also your DI types. Okay, now if you're going to do your direct, now check it out. It's going to change your tone accordingly. So I guess you'll be using these accordingly, you know, according to your needs. So this is without. Let me turn this guy on. Okay, you'll be able to tell on your screen immediately the moment you make these changes. You're going to see the DI, which DI you choose. So here we go. So there you have it. Switch. You can change the parameters on all your effects. If you, let's say if I wanted to change this here, I can go into my menu here and pull it down. Sorry, you want to go edit effect. You have to be in the effect that you want to pretty much alter. So as you can see, here we are. So from here we can do, let's say if I wanted to change the gent preamp. So here you go to your parameters, you change your treble, your mids, etc. We're not going to do any of that right now. Now again, let's get back out of here. And let's go back into our bank and patch mode. You can get rid of that by just pushing it up. Let's just keep exploring our sound. Don't mind my bass, guys. I gotta restring this guy. I haven't had any time to even sit down and properly really go through all this. It's not the most complicated effects box I've ever had. It's pretty intuitive once you go through the manual. I will tell you guys, go through the manual. The link is in the description. Download it, go through it, and I'll show you also the Zoom Guitar Lab app that you can download onto your Mac or Windows and interface it with your unit, okay? The Zoom Guitar Lab app. So this is where you're gonna connect to your connect the unit onto your Mac computer or your PC. As you can see here in the effects tab here, this is where you can pretty much download all different effects and add them to your unit. You can sort them obviously here through dry, filter, dynamics, through the drop downs, your preamps, etc. So yeah, lots to go through. If you go over to the editor, so now this is basically mimicking your board. Hit one of the buttons here. It's changing all the presets or anything that you've customized yourself. So here we go. Let's keep it going. So as you can see, again, we can edit this. We can do whatever we want. Let's find something. All right. So if I wanted to play along with the drum track, so I would pull down my menu again. You pull down the screen and there goes your menus. You want to get familiar with them because you don't want to just be guessing. Let me get a little closer for you guys so you can at least be able to read this bad boy. All right, there we go. So as you can see, you have your edit effect function out. You have your delete effects. All right, you got change effect and play rhythm. As you can see, all these are pretty straightforward. Change, amp and effect, change patch memory, or create a patch memory. This is when you're ready to start creating your own stuff. You know what I mean? You want to go ahead and start creating your own banks and your own patches, etc. So we all know this is exactly why we got this unit to begin with, because we want to go ahead and do this on our own, create our own stuff. So here is your play with rhythm. So this is your, so I guess your country setting. So you play your, now you can change the loop. And you got tons of them here. Now here you can play over it if you wanted to. If you wanted to like create something, you can go back. All right. You can change the beats per minute and the volume. Okay, so if from here, let's say if I just wanted to. Right, now you play along with it, but let's say you want to record it. Now you can go back, you can use, remember this guy over here, in which you can change and go to your looper, and now your looper, as you can see here, is ready to rock. So now you got your drum beat, and remember to set your parameter on how many beats, your quarter note. This is really gonna like tell how you're gonna come in and go out of this loop. Right, so check it out. So I have it on 4, record. See that? Now it was way premature. So you want to stop it. Let's clear it. And let's change it to about 8. So you'll have to set this in order to get your, let's get to that rhythm section and shut that guy up. Just like a drummer, can't shut up. All right, so that's basically how you're gonna set your loop, your turnarounds. Now, if you have a hard drive installed on this guy, which I have not done that yet, then you can expand your loop time. You can expand your loop time to whatever memory card you put in there, 2 hours, 3 hours, whatever. Without it, you have about 10 minutes. An expression pedal. And it's not plug and play. So one thing you do have to know is how to set it up in order for your expression pedal to work with it. One thing to note though, you can add effects to these, but know that there's a processor limit. So let me go into the menu and then I'll show you if I wanted to go ahead and, let's say if I wanted to change these effects. Let's go to change amp and effects. So as you can see, your processor right here on this effect, my processor is at 93%. if I change any of the effects or any of the amps, I have to be sure that my processor isn't going to get maxed out, because after 100, it just won't make any changes. You'll just be stuck just fiddling around trying to figure out what the heck is going on. So bear in mind, as you can see, the percentages on the side here, it's telling you exactly what you have, what these entail. So you'll know. If not, create your own patch to make things work the way you want. Delete whatever you don't need out of the presets and move it that way. I find that the easiest thing to do. Like, I like their presets, I just don't really find myself using them much. So I'd rather create my own. Because what I find myself doing sometimes is, for instance, if I wanted to change one of their effects or maybe add an effect onto it, then I'd go into this. And as you can see, it's pretty much maxed out. So what I would have to do is probably delete one of these guys in order to be able to add my own effects. Excuse me. So let's, I guess, create my own patch memory. So if I'm going to create my own patch memory, you can see you get a blank format, and you start with your dynamics, in which you can probably, get either, let's say I'm going to go for my black op, hit OK. I'm going to go for my filter driver. Let's go for a filter. Let's go for the bass wah. Hit OK. Okay, and I go for my preamp. I'm going to go for the bass driver here. Okay. All right, now. There we go. This is what we just created just now, right? So in order for me to add my expression pedal, I would have to go hit add effects. The moment you do that, this little pedal here pops up. And it's blank. Okay, let's go back a little. Sorry about that. Click on this guy. Scroll down until we find, obviously, pedal. Click on your pedal. Oh, and then just pick your bass wah pedal. Hit OK. Now you have control. Now again, I just want to show you guys just some of these weird things, because I had trouble with this. Now you can use this pedal as just more than just your wah pedal. Right now I have it set as the bass wah, but it could be your volume pedal. It can be just about anything you want it to be. All right, so there you go. You've got the wah pedal set up. You just created your own patch memory. And at this point, you can either save it, which right now you have two different modes on this. You can have this set to like automatically auto save, or you can do it so then you'll have to save it yourself, and you'll be able to tell through here. Okay, let's go back so I can show you that again. You see this little guy up here, this little icon? From there, what that's telling you is that something has been altered, and do you want to save it? Because it hasn't been saved. So you can click on that, and you can save it there. You could give it your own name, do whatever you want, blah, blah, blah. That one was a bit of a headache for me. I couldn't get it to work. Another thing that you may want to take into consideration if you're using the expression pedal, you may want to use a stereo cable. There is a difference between this guy and this guy. So this is what you need for your expression pedal. It didn't come with it. So I guess they figure you should know this crap, because I didn't. So anyway, so I got it to work. Everything's cool. Everything works great. So again, I can continue going ahead, and if I wanted to go ahead and continue adding effects, I can go ahead. I can go ahead and add. I can add, I believe it's up to 9 onto like just one patch. Each one of these patches you create and so forth could be set into banks. So for easy recall, like I think I showed you on to, let's get out of here. And all right, so here we go. All right, so you got your whole bank, right? There you go. You have bow upright, Morse coding, bow arch. So it's sets of different effects that you set in each one, and then can easy recall. With a unit of the sort, it's more about the user and how you make it yours, because there's so many different things you can do with it. As you can see, it's pretty straightforward though. Okay, as for, let's get out of here. You can change your effects. You can delete effects. Very simple. Go to delete effects and look how simple that is. X, 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 delete it. All right, now I'm not certain what anyone wants to know more about the unit. It's pretty straightforward when it comes to it. I didn't take the remote in which you can use with your cell phone. There seems to be some issues with it, and I don't really use my cell phone for that kind of stuff. I'm good with using it on my computer. And then just programming everything I need onto my unit and then taking it on the go. So there you go. If you have any questions, anyone has any questions on it, hit me up. Still getting used to the unit. There's lots, again, to get used to. But it's all pretty straightforward. Once you take a look at it and start messing with it, it'll be pretty straightforward for you. Again, there's a lot of really great sounds on it, but this is more of a creator's tool, if you ask me, more than it is just for effects. Because since it works also as an interface, this thing can be used for so much as a performer or a solo performer. For instance, if you took this on stage and you pre-programmed your own loops, you can install your own loops, by the way, via the hard drive that you install. And you can load them up, add them into patches, and then just set them off to play along with your performance. There's something else I wanted to touch bases on. No pun intended. Import IR, if you can see that. You have import IR, use IR. These are impulse responses. So let's say you guys have your own impulse responses. Say you have your own data on your amplifiers, and you have your mic settings, and you have all that data, and you want to use these impulse responses and load them up onto the B6, you can. So this is where it'll happen. This is where you'll import. This is what makes the unit probably really pretty sick, because I've never had one where I can pretty much, use my own impulse responses. That's that's nuts. Let's go back up. Yep. So there goes your import impulse response. Again, everything else that's on here on this screen, as you can see, your use, send, return. This is where you would be using for your external pedal. You go through here, and this is where, as you can see, tap. This is where I now would take a pedal, put it here, and I would set one of my cables in the send and one on the return, and plug them both into this. Okay, and then set it up via this guy here. Again, tap it. Okay, and there you go. And you just set it up accordingly. So not very difficult. Pretty straightforward, actually. I mean, again, it's pretty amazing that something that looks so complicated could be this simple. Everything else, you see all these other, it's really not much. You have delete bank, create bank. Again, you send, use the IR, change the bank order. If you create a bank, you want to change their order, you do it through there. So nothing really too difficult with this. Everywhere you go, add effects, memory, create patch memory, play with drums, edit all. If you do edit all, it's gonna take you to the effect you're in. Okay, and it's gonna give you the ability to do all the changes you want right on the spot. Here, you could change the name if you wanted to change the name. Right, pretty cool. Cancel. Here you can turn on and off your pedals. You can either add effects, so everything you can on just on one screen without having to go in and out. So that's pretty cool. I'm sorry about the quality of the video, guys, but I really wanted to get something out there to you guys really quick, just talking about the unit. And I just didn't want to set up like 10 cameras, and I just wanted to get out there and show you and get going and done. So there you go. This is the unit in a nutshell, man. There's really not much to it. We covered pretty much everything really, really quick. You know what I mean? Because there's really not much to it. I mean, everything in here, like for instance, your tuner, which we didn't cover. If you wanted to set your tuner, there goes your tuner. The great thing about this tuner, which I think is awesome, is that you can set the parameter so you can pretty much tune to whatever. So let's say right now it's at 440 hertz, but if I wanted to change that, and if I wanted to change this to tune not to standard pitches, I can flat it. That way I can say I want it flatted by 1, 2, 3, 4, boom, and tune to D, B, C, whatever. That's actually really cool as well. So you go to set tuner, and there you go. So you can either make chromatic, bass, and as you can see, we're looking at how many half step, whole step, one flat, you name it. The calibration can be set as well. Pretty sick. So that's a really cool thing. I have always, tuners for me on stage are second to none, boy. All right, so there's not too much. Again, everything else is straightforward. Your system settings. All right, this is your autosave. So this, you can either turn on your autosave. Any changes you make to your parameters on your pedals, etc., will be saved regardless of you going in and out and hitting save. It'll automatically do it. I'd rather not do that right away when I'm getting used to the unit, because I like to screw around, and I like the comfort of knowing I can shut it off and everything resets. So your SD card, as you can see, you have SD card remain, which is memory, format, and your card reader when you want to read the info in there in order to see which files you're going to transfer over, like impulse responses or drum loops or loops in general, which again, you can use any loops as long as you have them in WAV format. All right, so there you go. That again, this is covering just about everything on this. There's really not too much to it. It's a great thing. So far, I'm in love with it because I haven't been able to put too much time onto it, but guaranteed, this thing can really change it up for you. Just being able to throw on a pair of headphones and just be able to sit back and just it's great to be able to work on your playing, on your timing, also being able to create your own amp sets and your own effects that you can use for recording, live, you name it. I mean, to me, it seems like a very diverse thing, and it's probably one of the best I've ever used thus far. And I do have the 11 rack and countless other pedals, but I gotta tell you, this one is seeming so far to be the most user-friendly, because I read the manual to the 11 rack and it was like shit was everywhere, but this was quick. I read it in one sitting, understood it right away. Again, guys, if there's anything I can help you with this video is already going to be too long. I couldn't sit down and go through everything playing wise because I just wanted to explain the unit to you guys. There's a whole lot to it. And the video is already going to be like half an hour long. I didn't want to do that. So if you have any questions, guys, shoot them out to me in the comments. Okay, and I'll be happy to respond. This is JJ Vell with Bassist 718 saying Zoom B6. Later.